So how does the aid get to Ukraine? Did they
Supreme
just start
Court is
shipping
hearing
it?
some abortion stuff, emergency abortion. Trump had his contempt hearing yesterday. The judge during that hearing told his lawyer that he was losing all credibility. The lawyer at one point said, "You never mentioned reposting in your gag order." And the guy was like,
Well, that's really, wow, that's a side eye right there.
That's when he said, "You're losing all credibility here."
So in the order where he says you can't talk shit about people, yeah, he didn't talk shit. He reposted someone else who talked shit. It's different.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to get out of my courtroom is what I would have said.
He said he was waiting to release that finding. What I'm assuming, Alvin Bragg said that they were asking for money for each time, but
yeah,
the
but
thing is, it's not
$1,000,
going to hurt.
$1 grand is not
Yeah.
going to hurt him. Maybe like if it cost me $1,000 to talk shit, Trump will do that all day.
Yeah.
And then he won't pay it. And then he won't pay it anyway.
Oh, he'll pay it, but what does that matter to him?
The Supreme Court, by the way, has to. Okay, here's the thing about abortion. So what the Republicans did not think was going to happen once abortion got outlawed or got knocked down or Roe died, they thought that what was going to happen was no one was going to make a big deal out of it. And this is when I go back to why I am still a Democrat. Republicans do not believe women are people. They actually don't believe that women have rights. There was a guy in Congress that tried to introduce a bill, maybe one of the states, that basically he wants to repeal the 19th Amendment, which gave the women the right to vote. Yep. He wants to repeal it. Yes. He says because women, that's what ruined the American family, was giving women the right to vote. So
the American family structure, because back then men always came home and sat down and listened to the woman's opinion about who she thought, and then he
after she made him dinner
opinion, and then
raised the kids.
He had to go place the vote because
on her behalf.
Yes,
I understand.
It's a whole. Everybody contributed.
Okay.
So now what they've but this totally makes sense. So basically, what they've done is they've told half of the American population you don't have the right to your own body. Well, the party that did that is going to be
aborted.
Mother effed. Yes, mother effed. They're going to be entirely aborted in the next election. They know that. So now this guy introduces, hey, let's don't let them vote anymore. They just keep doubling down on evil, stupid shit. And then they wonder why everybody hates them. They wonder, like Ted Cruz is starting to look like, oh, okay, he's one of the good Republicans. Mitt Romney said something about, wait a minute, Mitt Romney he's so Mormon shade. He goes, I don't know. I guess you don't pay somebody $130,000 to not have sex with you. He said,
did he say that? Oh, shit.
Romney, Mormon. I'm like, bro, all right, come on, Mitt. Drop it.
I like that.
Is he retired? Is he out of politics now?
He's leaving.
Yeah.
Arizona House has voted to overturn that 1860 whatever abortion ban, which would pave way to leave the 15-week limit in place. It's fun to watch Kari Lake flip-flop back and forth day to day. I saw a montage of what she says about abortion.
Trump too.
Thank God we've got this old anti-abortion law that we can just bring back in place. And then like 2 days later, this is not what the people want. Nobody would ever vote for that. That's horrible. Women need the right to choose what happens with their own bodies. The next day, an interview. I'm pro-life. Nobody should be allowed to have an abortion.
There was a report that she got body slammed by the RNC. The RNC was like, you cannot be pro-choice. And so what's weird is, listen, I would much rather have a guy who I didn't agree with that had beliefs, that literally had integrity with what he believed. Yeah. That I knew what he was going to say.
You can deal with that.
Yeah, I can. Exactly.
Yes.
I can deal with that. You know who never changes their mind? I hate his guts. Rand Paul. At least you can go, Rand Paul is always going to be that douchebag. Always. Yeah. He's not going to stop.
You can't hit a moving target.
Marco Rubio, he switches back and forth. Ted Cruz switches back and forth. All these guys switch back and forth. You know who didn't? Romney. Well, I take that back. Romney. But even John Kerry, who's a Democrat, the reason I didn't vote for John Kerry is because in the primaries, because John Kerry would switch to whatever the fucking news said, whatever the poll said, he'd switch his opinion. I'm like, listen, wouldn't you rather lose, if you're running for office, lose on your beliefs or win on your beliefs than just shift it up and be a scumbag? Because Kari Lake's a scumbag. She's a scumbag. Like she's evil. She got thrown out of court this last week again. She's still fighting about being the governor.
She tells people she is the governor of Arizona.
Okay, again,
Oh my gosh,
right
she's
there,
like female
right-
Trump.
Yeah.
No, that's mental illness. By the way, when are we going to start calling it what it is? If you lost the election and you continue for 2 years after saying you won it, we need to put you in a jacket and take you and put you away.
And if you took it to
Big jacket.
your conservative court, which just voted for this 1800s
Right.
abortion ban, and they even declined to hear it, there was so little evidence. It's time to go back to the drawing board. You were also running against somebody who was
It's time
widely
to-
known in Arizona because she had been the Secretary of State.
It's time to get therapy and start taking antipsychotics because you're still saying shit that Trump had 61 court cases thrown out. His own people, the cyber ninjas that he paid to go over every
That
vote,
was embarrassing.
found
More
more votes
votes.
for Biden.
How-
You guys are psychotic. You're not just being dickheads. You're not just being like, I'm just going to keep fighting this. You're actually mentally ill. And I don't want people mentally ill running
Trump
the
is
country.
actually truthing, speaking of delusion and mental illness, that police have turned away thousands of people from the Manhattan courthouse, and
not
that
true.
supporters have tried, but they cannot get near the courthouse because there's 10 people out there with little paper towel signs
It's
and a
not-
kazoo.
It's like his inauguration photo.
Yeah.
So Lawrence O'Donnell had cameras out there.
Yeah.
And there was one guy holding a Trump banner. One guy.
Yep.
No traffic impediments at all. Nothing. Absolutely nobody showing up. And he pointed out, he goes, look, if you love this guy so much, countrywide, whether you're in Alabama or Tennessee or whatever, wouldn't you be showing up at that courthouse too? Nobody's showing up. I think there is a point when we all go, look, we've all had a friend like that. That's your friend. And then he does some wrong shit. And then he does some wrong shit. And you're still his friend. Then he does some more wrong shit. Then he does some more wrong shit. Then something else happens. And there's a point after 10 wrong things, you're like, yeah, that guy's not coming over to the party.
I'm going to let him.
Yeah,
work that out,
let him figure his life out.
We're doing that as a society. We should be able
Slowly.
to easily ignore the Kari Lake and the Trump. By this point, we should no
It's
cameras,
starting to happen.
nothing. Just ignore them forever. No more fucking giving shit about their posts. No more putting the cameras in front of them or mics in front of their fucking face. They get nothing. They're out of society. Goodbye.
But here's the
It's
problem.
left-wing media that's helped. them
I mean,
stay
we were
alive.
Hell
talking
yeah.
but fame is a drug. I know fame's a drug. You get famous, you're flying, doing whatever. People are putting a microphone in your face. What's your opinion? What do you give a shit? It's funny to me. Ari Melber, by the way, is a guy that brings on the news, brings on some of the people. I'm just like, why are you even asking these people's opinions? I don't need it. It had drinks the other night on the news. And I'm like, when did the news is also addicted to fame now.
Yeah.
So the news has now
'Cause it's not
become
news.
this thing. And I'm talking left-wing news and right-wing news. Tucker Carlson, what's the guy on Fox now? That's just Waters.
Jesse Waters.
Oh my God. And Grunberg, they've all become so fucking sycophantic fame whores. All of them. And I'm not talking, you know who's kept her head about her? Rachel Maddow kept her fucking head about her. You know, who else has kept it together?
I like Nicole Wallace.
Nicole Wallace. I would say Stephanie Ruhle has kept her head
I
about
like
her.
Stephanie. Ruhle.
There's a couple guys on Fox that literally every once in a while you'll read so and so says Trump's full of shit. You're like, what? And I'm like, what?
Mhm.